to plan for
Right.
some of these different.
So anyway, when we were going around the country talking about
Testing, testing.
plug-in
Go there.
One more time.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16.
Why are we counting?
Because the TV people want to see if they can hear me. So.
Okay.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
No, because apparently people are concerned.
Oh, really? I wonder what.
Yeah, I know.
Why are there no placards of protest?
Okay. Okay, welcome to the Public Service Commission's administrative meeting for January 22nd, 2025. First item is to approve the minutes from our meeting of January 15, 2025. Commissioner Sushman.
Aye.
Commissioner Barbe.
Aye.
Commissioner Richard.
Aye.
I vote aye.
Good morning, Mr. Chair. There are 8 items on today's agenda. We will start with the consent agenda, and item number 1 is from Great American Power LLC. Its request to withdraw its license to supply electricity or electric generation services to the state of Maryland. Number 2 is from Quantum Shift Communications, Inc., Viacom Solutions, Inc., and AppSmart TGN, Inc., a joint application for authority to transfer indirect control of Quantum Shift Communications, Inc. licensee to AppSmart TGN, Inc. transferee. Number 3 is from Potomac Electric Power Company. Its revised tariff pages for updates to its SOS administrative charges for residential Type 1 and Type 2 and hourly service. Item number 4 is from Delmarva Power and Light Company. Its revised tariff pages for updates to its SOS administrative charges for residential Type 1 and Type 2 and hourly service. And number 5 is from Baltimore Gas and Electric Company. Its revised tariff pages, updates for its time of use, standard offer service, energy rates, and February 2025 administrative charges.
Okay, regarding item 1, I think we have someone who wants to offer some thoughts on it. So,
Good morning, Chair and Commissioners. Andrew Schlicht on the behalf of staff. Staff recommends a cancellation of the license for Great American Power.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman and Commissioners. Milan Tekle-Mikhail on behalf of the Maryland Office of People's Counsel. OPC filed comments in this matter on Tuesday, highlighting our concern with Great American Power's request to relinquish its license to supply electricity or electric generation services in Maryland when it potentially has outstanding obligations in Maryland to its former Maryland residential customers. Great American Power recently, in March of 2024, notified the Commission that it assigned its electric customer contracts to Powervine Energy Maryland, LLC. What the company did not disclose to the Commission at the time is which entity, Great American Power or Powervine, retains the liabilities and obligations to Great American Power's former Maryland residential customers under the transfer agreements for incidents predating the transfer. Such information is important for the Commission to be made aware of, so that if customer complaints arise from incidents predating the transfer, the Commission knows which entity to hold accountable. OPC acknowledges that Great American Power is unable to predict if any obligations to its former Maryland residential customers will arise from incidents predating the transfer or the assignment to Powervine Energy. Nonetheless, because the issue of who retains liability for such obligations, Great American or Powervine, is unknown, the Commission should require Great American Power to either demonstrate that any liabilities it could have to its former customers have been fully transferred to Powervine, or require Great American Power to maintain its license and bond in Maryland for at least 3 years to protect the public interest of Maryland residential customers, per its authority under the Public Utilities Article, Section 7-507C4, which authorizes the Commission to adopt any requirements it finds to be in the public interest. OPC also objects to staff's characterization of Great American Power's outstanding open complaint with the Commission's Consumer Affairs Division as posing no risk to customers. OPC recommends that the Commission take into consideration the potential consequence of setting a precedence, allowing retail suppliers on a case-by-case basis to leave the state without CAD finalizing its process and companies having outstanding obligations. Such exceptions might create unnecessary variation to a relinquishment process that has been standardized to apply consistently to every energy retail supplier that wishes to relinquish its license. OPC is aware that the company is working with CAD to resolve the issue, but we wanted to highlight it to the Commission. Thank you.
okay.
I'm open for any questions.
What's that?
I just said I'm available for
I
any
see.
questioning.
Okay. So, questions for OPC?
Actually, thank you for your comments. I'm assuming that this issue is going to come up every time there is a retail electric supplier that wants to relinquish a license.
In the
Because of SB1. So we're going to start to see a lot more of these applications, and this very issue will probably come up in other contexts.
Correct. With the changing of the retail supply market in Maryland due to SB1, these issues might arise. In the context of Great American Power, it is a bit of a different matter because they have already transferred or assigned their customers. So if a company has not transferred or assigned its customers, but basically no longer serves its customers without assigning them, then this issue might not arise. So on a case-by-case basis, we just need to be a little bit more prudent in our approach of how we accept the relinquishment.
Okay, and then your concern is that giving up the license, there may still be liability, and we won't be able to reach Great American because we no longer have jurisdiction over them.
Correct.
Okay. Yeah, I am sort of, so I'm assuming Great American is not here to be able to respond. But Mr. Chairman, I am concerned about creating a process where retail electric suppliers continue to have an obligation but are able to escape that obligation by leaving town quickly.
Okay, any other questions? Commissioner Richard?
Yeah, I was just going to say I share Commissioner Suchman's concerns. I think we had a similar, situation a couple of weeks ago, and I'm not sure. Have we issued that order yet? I'm trying to.
Yeah, I'm not.
Okay, because I think we did have some discussion at that last session about how we might be able to standardize and perhaps, I don't want to say enhance the process for relinquishment, just so we make sure we have the kind of information you are requesting, so that again we make sure that before a relinquishment, customers are being taken care of, and that the CAD process, if there's an open complaint, is able to conclude appropriately. So with that, I think if that order hasn't gone out, but I think that may address some of the issues we're talking about today.
Sure.
Thank you.
So any reaction from staff before we act or
Uh,
not act on this?
Staff continues to stand with its recommendation for canceling the license. Staff does not necessarily object to requiring the company maintain its license, maintain a bond for the continuing 3 years, nor does staff object to Great American Power and Powervine providing the power agreement, the purchase agreement that was signed between the two companies. Staff does note that the customer in the open complaint with CAD, the customer was issued a refund, and the appeal was filed by Great American Power. Due to that filing, that appeal being made through improper channels, improper documentation, CAD was unable to fulfill the appeal, and so we've been found ourselves in this situation where the customer has had their request fulfilled, but the company has not continued to pursue any issues that they had with the complaint.
Okay. All right, I think what we're going to do is take item 1 under advisement, and then we're going to issue a written order in line with some of the concerns raised by OPC. Because I guess I am concerned that once we cancel the license, we essentially lose all hold on them. So I'm going to be not too speedy in doing that request. So that's how we're going to handle item 1. Regarding item 2, I move that we note the transaction and financing. Commissioner Suchman.
Aye.
Commissioner Barbe.
Aye.
Commissioner Richard.
Aye.
I vote aye. Regarding item 3, I move we accept the tariff provisions for filing with an effective date of February 1, 2025. Commissioner Suchman.
Aye.
Commissioner Barbe.
Aye.
Commissioner Richard.
Aye.
I vote aye. Regarding item 4, I move we accept the tariff provisions for filing with an effective date of February 1, 2025. Commissioner Suchman.
Aye.
Commissioner Barbe.
Aye.
Commissioner Richard.
Aye.
I vote aye. And regarding item 5, I move we accept the tariff provisions for filing with an effective date of February 1, 2025. Commissioner Suchman.
Aye.
Commissioner Barbe.
Aye.
Commissioner Richard.
Aye.
I vote aye.
Item number 6 on today's administrative agenda is from Baltimore Gas and Electric Company. It's revised tariff pages, revisions to supplement 515 Rider 3 standby service price to PSC MDG-9.
Good morning, Mr. Chair and Commissioners. Cameron Walton on behalf of staff. On December 20th, 2024, Baltimore Gas and Electric, BGE, filed revised rates and tariff pages to Rider 3 standby service. Standby service is a service under which BGE stands ready to provide gas in the event that a customer supplier fails to make delivery. Standby service is available as an option to large commercial and industrial daily metered customers. Of BGE's 390 daily metered customers, 10 have elected standby service. The Rider 3 rate reflects the pipeline capacity costs to BGE for providing standby service to those customers. The company proposes to decrease the standby service price from 0.1769 cents per therm to 0.1668 cents per therm, which is a 5.7% decrease. This will result in an average customer bill savings of $149.29 per month. Staff recommends the Commission accept the proposed tariff for filing to become effective for the 12-month billing period beginning February 2025. Thank you, and I'm available for any questions.
So, any questions for staff? Seeing none.
Good morning, Commissioners. Beverly Sakura on behalf of BGE. I have no additional comments. Staff explained the filing very well. Thank you.
Okay. Any questions for the company? All right. With that, I move we accept the tariff provisions for filing with an effective, to become effective for the 12-month period beginning with February 2025 billings. Commissioner Sushman.
Aye.
Commissioner Barve.
Aye.
Commissioner Richard.
Aye.
I vote aye.
Item number 7 is from Baltimore Gas and Electric Company. It's revised tariff pages for proposals and update to supplement 516 to PSC G-9 Rider 7 gas choice and reliability charges.
Good morning, Chair Hoover and Commissioners. Alden Manka on behalf of staff. On December 20th, 2024, Baltimore Gas and Electric Company, BGE, filed Supplement 516 to PSC G9 revised tariff pages for its Rider 7 gas choice and reliability charges, GCRC. This rider is composed of 3 factors: the system growth capacity costs, gas choice program costs, and provider of last resort polar capacity costs. System growth capacity costs are costs BGE incurs to procure capacity to meet projected future growth of the gas distribution system. BGE proposes to increase the system growth capacity costs from negative $0.0001 per therm to $0.0053 per therm, which would lead to an average increase of 30 cents per month for the average residential customer and $3.03 per month for an average commercial customer. This increase is largely due to a decrease in off-system sales mitigation revenue combined with the reconciliation of last year's costs. Gas Choice Program costs are costs associated with BGE's Gas Choice Program. BGE reports no Gas Choice Program costs for the previous year. The polar costs are incurred by BGE in order to maintain pipeline capacity sufficient to fulfill its role as the provider of last resort for customers who receive their gas through a third-party supplier. BGE proposes to increase the polar third-party supplier charge from negative $0.0147 per therm to $0.0553 per therm. This is primarily due to an increase in the estimated polar capacity. Staff recommends the Commission accept BGE's proposed update to its Rider 7 tariff page for filing to be effective with bills rendered in February 2025. Thank you, and I am available for questions.
Questions for staff? No. Commissioner Barve.
Yeah, let me, going to the buck sheet, going to the table 1, I just want to make sure that I completely understand what this table is telling me. It means that, for example, in the first column, from 2018 to 2021, there was that charge per therm, but in 22, 23, and 24, there was a credit. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? All right.
Good morning again. I probably should have said something with the other filing too, but just so folks understand, these charges are not anything incremental. Basically what we're doing is all of our MBR customers pay for, any costs associated with providing commodity service. These filings then just say, hey, suppliers are getting some benefit from this. Customers who are shopping get some benefit from this. So it's actually just a way of making sure that we're allocating the costs properly among the different types of customers who are getting benefits. It's not like there's a, net increase to BGE that we're going to be, making any additional money. This is just kind of making sure that the right customers are paying for their appropriate share of the costs that we incur. It's a lot of accounting that someday maybe we can simplify, but not today.
Okay. Any questions for the company? Alrighty. With that, I move we accept the tariff provisions for filing effective with bills rendered in February 2025. Commissioner Sushman.
Aye.
Commissioner Barve.
Aye.
Commissioner Richard.
Aye.
I vote aye.
The last item on today's agenda is from Baltimore Gas and Electric Company. It's proposed revisions to its residential electric vehicle charging time of use.
Good morning, Chair Hoover and Commissioners. Oladipo Fade on behalf of staff. On December 6, 2024, BGE filed a tariff supplement modifying its vehicle charging time of use adjustment rider to lift certain eligibility restrictions. In the BGE EV program Phase 2 letter order, the Commission authorized BGE to include net metering customers in the time of use program for the purpose of increasing EV adoption across the state. The time of use program previously excluded net metering, multiple premise, and budget billing customers due to limitations in the billing system, which have since been addressed. And this proposal would allow the aforementioned customers to enroll in time of use rates. Over 4,200 net metering customers in BGE's territory currently own EVs, and budget billing and multiple premise accounts represent thousands of people who could potentially own EVs in the future. So to advance the state's goal of increasing EV adoption, staff recommends that the Commission accept BGE's proposal for filing with an effective date of February 1st. In response to a comment filed on this case yesterday, which expresses concern for the size of the off-peak charging credit and the on-peak charging premium, staff wants to note that the calculations made in that comment were incorrect, and also note that any increase in on-peak rates could have the unintended effect of driving away customers who value consistency in their pricing. Staff could review the rates in an EV work group meeting, but thinks that is unnecessary at this time.
Okay. Any questions for staff? Oh.
Okay, so clarify for me, what is the on-peak and off-peak rates being proposed?
The on-peak rate is about 3 cents per kilowatt hour, and off-peak is 10.
Off-peak is 10 cents kilowatt hour?
Sorry, off-peak is 3 cents, and on-peak is
Thank you.
10. Sorry.
Okay. And then is the concern that sort of difference is too high?
Correct. The comment is concerned that the size of the off-peak credit is smaller than the on-peak premium.
Okay. Mr. McAuliffe,
Good morning.
Good morning.
From McAuliffe Behalf Staff. Yeah, so Mr. Verchinsky was concerned that the off-peak rate wasn't enticing enough for customers and that it should be even smaller. Staff, frankly, just disagrees. We think that 7 cents premium is quite enough, and as we tried to state in our comments, if you make that even more substantial, the on-peak rate just has to go higher, and then it gives you less chance to sort of mess up your charging, because if you can just say if that ratio becomes too substantial and you charge just 5% on peak, you could wipe out all your savings. So we think this is a fair balance, and the working group has reviewed this many times. So frankly, we think it's appropriate.
okay. All right. So staff is okay with the 10 cent on peak, 3 cent off peak?
Correct.
Okay. That's fine. I mean, I've said before, I'm a big supporter of time of use rates, and this will help hopefully to deal with the peak challenges that we have and avoid having to build out to accommodate the peak use. So, all right, thank you.
Okay. Any other questions for staff?
Good morning, Chair Hoover and Commissioners. Isaac Lindenbaum on behalf of the Office of People's Counsel. OPC supports Commission approval of the company's tariff revisions and appreciates BGE's effort to expand enrollment in its time of use rider. We did file short comments late yesterday with a request for leave for consideration after we had conferred with staff and the company. In our comments, we proposed 2 additional non-substantive edits to the VC TOU rider language that both the company and staff agreed to. The first edit clarifies that customers with an eligible L2 EV charger or eligible vehicle with telematics capabilities can enroll in the TOU rider. The second edit clarifies that customers must submit 2 applications to enroll in the rider, 1 application through BGE's website, and a second application through BGE's designated VC TOU program vendor. Thank you, and I'm available for any questions.
Any questions for OPC? All right.
Good morning, Commissioners. Joel Michelle on behalf of BGE. As OPC just represented, we have no issues with the 2 subsequent revisions, and the company is prepared to file clean copies of those 2 rider pages. And with that, I'm available for any questions.
Any questions for the company? Commissioner Richard.
Yes, thank you, and I appreciate the filing today. Very supportive of us finally moving forward with the allowing all net metering customers and billing customers to participate in the time of use rates. I just would like to know, do you have how are we doing of the 50,000 or almost 50,000 net metering customers? Have you noticed any starting to take advantage of participating in these time of use rates for their EVs?
Commissioner, thank you for the question. I actually have Stephanie Leach from our EV team here who could probably fill that question better than I can.
Morning, Commissioners. Right now, currently, we have about 3,000 customers on the time of use rate. As mentioned, a lot of our customers who are EV drivers are also net metering customers or budget billing customers. So by removing these restrictions, we're hopeful that we will be able to enable a lot of these customers to now enroll in the time of use rate.
That's great. Do you see it trending up now that they're eligible to participate in the time of use rates?
Absolutely, they are eligible. We're waiting to do any sort of outbound marketing and communications until the tariff is approved.
Gotcha. Okay, and that was my next question. What kind of a plan is there to inform people that this is now a new opportunity?
We're going to be doing a targeted marketing campaign, so direct email campaign and possibly a direct mail campaign to net metering customers, budget billing customers, and customers who have multiple premises linked to a single account, letting them know that this option is now available. There have been several thousand of these customers who have previously applied for the EV time of use rate and were denied. So just letting them know that this is an opportunity for them to potentially save on EV charges.
Terrific. Great. Thank you very much. Very excited to hear all that. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Anybody else? Okay, I move we accept the tariff revisions for filing as amended in accord with the suggestions by OPC and their comments filed mail log number 315048 with an effective date of January 22, 2025. Commissioner Sushman.
Aye.
Commissioner Barbe.
Aye.
Commissioner Richard.
Aye.
I vote aye. And with that, we're adjourned.